A common question we get is, how should you name a LLC or corporation? So now there's certain naming requirements that we can show you and will provide in this video, but also you want to think about what are the ideal names for your company. And it's important to recognize that a trade name is different from a trademark. Just because you have the name of a company doesn't mean all of a sudden you have the trademark to that company. Even if we register your name with the Secretary of State or in Delaware or somewhere else, you have to be actually doing business with that name to establish trademark rights. So without that additional step, a trade name doesn't really do too much for yourself in terms of establishing trademark rights. So it's always important to think about, okay, if you're trying to build a brand, think about the name you want for that brand. And then the name of your company could be different. And then we could do a DBA under that brand. So even if, let's say, a name for a company is not available, in Delaware, California, in any of the Secretary of State websites, we could still register a different name, but then if that brand is trademarkable, so that means if you can still sell goods under that brand or services under that brand, because let's say the name that was taken is doing something completely different from you and doesn't cause a trademark issue, you can still potentially use that name as a trademark and register that name with the USPTO as a trademark for your company, but you couldn't use it as a trade name in a specific state. So hopefully that makes sense in terms of the differentiation between what is a trade name and a trademark. And remember that just because you can't get a trade name doesn't mean you couldn't necessarily get the trademark. But also if the trademark is taken, now there may be bigger problems for you to use that trade name, especially if you use it in public, because there could be a conflict there. So it's good to work hand in hand. It's good to do a search for a trademark as well, because who knows what issues could come up, and you don't want to run into a problem later on after you've already chosen a name and started operating your business.